Hi, I'm Rob and welcome to East Coast Sailing. Today's episode covers the return journey from Alderney all the way back over to Lymington, covering 80 miles. I've also written a heartfelt song of missing my family and the torment of leaving Alderney. I also swat some yellow flies and get becalmed. The wind speeds then pick up and produce big seas and I pull some strange faces. The wind speeds then hit 28 knots and finally an emotional reunion with my family, having been at sea for 2 weeks. I was now just over the halfway mark into a 600 nautical mile solo journey travelling from my home port of Tollesbury to the Channel Islands. I had 4 days of hard sailing getting to the departure point before finally reaching Alderney. I had met some amazing people along the way and became one of the islanders, but eventually it was my time to leave and tackle the swinge. I eventually pulled into St Peter's Port, located on the Isle of Guernsey, for a quick overnight stay before making my way over to Sark. I jumped in the kayak and explored Sark on foot before visiting La Coupe. After an unforgettable adventure on the Channel Islands, it was finally time for me to start making my way back to my family. Hugo was clearly upset with his dad for being away and abandoning him.
Are you a bit grumpy today?
I lost Daddy.
You lost Daddy? No, he's coming back.
Hugo resided to the fact his dad was lost at sea, and it was also Father's Day, which made things worse. Now if you think my sailing's bad, my singing's even worse, and this song was a heartfelt tribute about missing my family and the torment of leaving Alderney. Finally leaving the harbour of Bray, I'm pulling up my anchor today, and now I'm working my way back to your arms. 2 weeks to be at sea, that's a long time between you and me, and now I'm slowly working my way back home. My sweet Alderney, how do you have this kind of control over me? It's only 300 miles, then I'll be back. Keep your eyes on the tide when it turns slack.
Well, there's not a lot of wind today. We are motoring along, the auto tiller's on. I've had a few close encounters with some cargo ships, but we're about 25 miles off from the Needles now, so we're making pretty good progress. I did see a few flotillas of motor cruisers heading over to Alderney, it looked like, doing about 22 knots, so God knows how much fuel they're going to be using. But it's a pretty relaxing day. I always feel a bit nervous when you're life in the hands of the engine with no wind at all, because it's only going to pick up later on where it'll get to about 20 knots by 2 o'clock. Now, there never seemed to be like the perfect time to leave Alderney to catch both tides, you know, leaving Alderney as well as catching up through the Needles. Oh, I've got all these yellow flies everywhere, keep landing on me. I just kind of want to get there, see my family, because I've been really missing them. I feel a little bit homesick now, having been away from them for just under 2 weeks. And Hugo seems to be visibly annoyed at me every time we FaceTime. He doesn't want to talk to me. He feels like I've abandoned him, which is not good. I did buy a lifeboat toy in Alderney for Hugo, and hopefully I can bribe him for his emotions and he'll give me a nice hug when I go and see him. All in all, pretty chill, not a lot of sailing. I've only got the main up, it's not doing anything, it's just stopping the roll. And this is probably the third day I've been able to wear a t-shirt and not being cold, which is unusual for June. Apparently got a heat wave coming. I've just missed that by 2 weeks, which is not good. So a little tip for you is don't ever book holiday when I book it, because I seem to be really unlucky. Whenever I book it, it's always cold.
Just a reminder, I'm giving away a number of these free beanies, and all you have to do is subscribe, hit the like button and leave a comment, and I'll announce the winners at the end of September. And if you can't wait that long, check out the new store I've set up selling all the East Coast apparel on my homepage. I had now hit the halfway mark with only 37 nautical miles remaining. was flying along at 6.5 knots over ground, and every mile knocked down was one closer to getting home to my family.
Absolutely wild conditions. We got white caps breaking waves. I'm trying not to broach the boat and put ourselves into an unintentional jibe, but we are coming up to the Needles. Nice container ship behind me.
This stretch of waters was notoriously rough, as you had tidal streams converging around the Needles, especially when it's an outgoing tide combined with a 28 knot head-on wind. Even with a strong tide against us, we were still pushing along at 8.2 knots through the water. The realisation of what I had achieved was starting to settle in. The story of an incredibly average sailor who persevered with his dream of getting to the Channel Islands, and after 2 failed attempts finally got there. I left my home port of Tollesbury a boy and returned from the Channel Islands as a man, earning my sailing stripes. I don't know of any other sport that can make you feel fear and euphoric happiness at the same time, but you can't help being in awe of Mother Nature and what it can throw at you. This tired, weary sailor who'd been at sea for 2 weeks was ready for his emotional reunion with his family. I could see the deep-seated sadness behind Hugo's eyes. I had been selfish and put my own needs of adventure before that of my family. I'm sure most sailors feel this way, but sometimes as a parent and as a sailor, we need to be lost before we can be found. Coming back after a trip like this makes me realise and appreciate everything I have in life and how grateful I am. Thanks for watching East Coast Sailing, and if you've enjoyed today's episode, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications to get the latest episodes. Come and join us next week as we explore the Solent as well as the Isle of Wight.